Once upon a time, in a lively village, there lived a young couple named Sharon and Michael, who had been living peacefully together for about 3 years until his mother came to stay with them. One fateful morning, Sharon woke up to a knock on the door. When she opened it, she saw her mother-in-law standing there. Sharon welcomed her with a smile, collected her luggage, and they went inside. Sharon prepared water for her mother-in-law to take a bath, and then went to the kitchen to prepare a delicious meal for her, which she ate with pleasure. At first, she pretended to like me, but it soon became clear she was a troublemaker. Her friendly attitude quickly faded, showing a critical and demanding side that made me feel constantly nervous. Whenever I cooked, she would complain that the food was either too salty or too watery. Each time she grumbled, my husband would support her without question and take her to the village eatery to eat. This made me feel alone and sad, as my efforts in the kitchen were ignored and my relationship with Michael grew tense. This pattern continued for weeks, and it was really frustrating. I felt like a stranger in my own home, always trying not to upset her. My husband's constant support for her made things worse, creating a distance between us that seemed to grow bigger every day. Determined to fix things, I decided to put extra effort into making a meal she would finally like. One day, I prepared rice and a delicious stew, using just the right amount of salt and water. I followed the recipe carefully, tasting and adjusting until I was happy with the flavor. I was sure my mother-in-law would enjoy it, and I hoped this meal might finally bring some peace to our home. As I set the table, I felt a mix of nervousness and hope. When my mother-in-law took her first bite, I watched her face closely, looking for any sign of approval. To my dismay, she tasted the food and declared it nauseating. I was stunned and speechless. I had put so much effort into making the meal perfect, and her harsh words felt like a slap in the face. "Mama, this food is delicious. Taste it again," I said in disbelief, hoping she would change her mind. "No. Take this away," she replied angrily, pushing the plate away from her. When my husband returned, he immediately asked his mother what the problem was, as he had heard her loud complaints from outside. "Your wife doesn't know how to cook," she said, her voice filled with disdain. "Mama, no. Darling, please taste it yourself, it is very delicious," I pleaded with him, hoping he would support me for once. My husband didn't respond to me. He walked straight into our room, ignoring my pleas. A few moments later, he came out and said, "Mama, let's go somewhere." Furious and desperate, I tried to stop them from leaving. I reached out to grab his arm, but my husband slapped me hard. The force of the blow sent me to the ground, and everything went black as I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I found myself in a small, clean room. My house help was sitting by my side, looking worried. She told me she had found me on the floor and had rushed me to the village clinic. The doctor said I had a mild concussion, and I needed to rest. At the clinic, the doctor immediately put me on amphor drip and ran several tests. My house help stayed with me throughout the night because the doctor said I needed to stay. In the morning, the doctor revealed that I was 2 weeks pregnant. I was overjoyed and couldn't believe it. After the treatment was completed, I was discharged and couldn't stop smiling. When I got home, I saw my mother-in-law watching a program on the village television. I greeted her warmly, but she ignored me. Feeling exhausted, I went to my room, waiting for my cousin Temi to visit so I could share my troubles with him. Temi arrived, and I called him into my room. I told him everything I was going through and about my pregnancy. We talked and joked as usual, which made me feel a bit better. Temi stayed for an hour before he left. I was eagerly waiting for my husband to come home so I could share the great news with him. As soon as Temi left, my husband returned. His mother told him, "Michael, your wife's boyfriend was here, and they were intimate in your bed." My husband was shocked and stormed into my room angrily. When I tried to hug him and show him the letter from the doctor, he pushed me, and I fell, hitting my waist. Tears streamed down my face. As I tried to get up, I saw blood running down my thighs. My husband picked up the letter, read it, and was shocked. I lost consciousness and was taken back to the clinic. During my time at the clinic, I was unconscious and needed help to stay alive for 2 whole days. Temi stayed by my side because I had no other family. My parents and uncles died in a car accident long ago. My husband left me all alone at the clinic. After 3 days, I slowly woke up. The doctor told Temi that I lost the baby. He said not to tell me until I got better. Temi listened and didn't say anything to me. On the 5th day, the doctor told me the sad news. I felt shocked and couldn't find any words. Tears started to flow down my face. The doctor tried to make me feel better before I left the clinic. On my way home, I couldn't believe my husband abandoned me. When I got home, I was shocked to see a young pregnant woman sitting on his lap. My mother-in-law smiled at them. I felt like my heart was breaking as tears filled my eyes. My mother-in-law said, "Michael, you have done well, you have brought in a lady who can give me grandchildren." They all burst into laughter, and I knew then that God would fight this battle for me. Determined not to let them see my pain, I wiped my tears and walked up to them with a newfound resolve. I looked my husband straight in the eye and said, "Michael, I am done with this charade. I have lost everything because of you, but I refuse to lose my dignity." My words seemed to catch him off guard, and for a moment, a flicker of guilt crossed his face. His mother quickly interjected, "You have no place here anymore. Leave now and don't come back." Ignoring her, I turned to the other woman. "You are welcome to this house of deceit," I said calmly. "I hope you fare better than I did." With that, I walked out, head held high, and went to Temi's house. Temi, ever supportive, welcomed me with open arms. "You don't deserve this, Sharon. You deserve happiness and peace," he said, his voice full of concern. "I need to rebuild my life, Temi." "I can't let them break me," I replied. With Temi's unwavering support, I embarked on a journey to start anew. We scoured the village for a suitable place, and eventually found a small apartment that felt like a fresh start and moved there. The community welcomed me with open arms, offering their support and encouragement in my time of need. Drawing on my passion for cooking, I decided to turn my culinary skills into a business venture. I started a small catering service in a small open outlet, cooking up delicious meals for events and gatherings. Word of mouth spread quickly, and soon I found myself with a growing list of satisfied customers. Before long, I was known throughout the village for my mouth-watering dishes. One day, as I was bustling around in the kitchen preparing for a large event, I received a surprise visit from an old friend, Nkechi. Nkechi's visit was a turning point in my journey. She had heard about my situation and wanted to help. Nkechi owned a popular restaurant in the nearby city and offered me a job as her head chef. She admired my resilience and wanted to give me a platform to showcase my talent. Accepting her offer was a leap of faith, but I knew I had to seize this opportunity for a fresh start. Packing up my belongings, I bid farewell to the village that held both painful memories and newfound strength. With a mixture of excitement and nervousness, I embarked on the next chapter of my life.